Hi, I'm David Klein. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Kennedy White Orthopaedics in Sarasota, Florida. In this orthopedic moment, I wanted to talk to you about biceps ruptures at the shoulder. The biceps is a muscle that crosses from the shoulder across the humerus and down across the elbow to the forearm. It can rupture at either end, and if it ruptures at the elbow, that's generally fairly urgent because that's the only insertion of the biceps. If it ruptures at the shoulder, this is where it's made of two separate muscle bellies and two separate tendons, so only one of them tends to rupture and will shorten. The other half will stay intact and will still function quite well. There's two typical reasons for people to have ruptures of the biceps at the shoulder. The more common reason is that they already have a rotator cuff tear. The biceps at the shoulder lies underneath the rotator cuff. And when you raise your arm up and move it back and forth, the biceps typically can get rubbed between the humeral head, the top of the humerus, and the acromion, which is the ceiling essentially for the shoulder. Normally the rotator cuff lies in that position with the biceps lying underneath it. If the rotator cuff has a hole, then the biceps itself can rub against the underside of the bone. That can cause a rupture of the biceps. The other condition that can cause rupture of the biceps is to have arthritis in the groove that the biceps turns into. When the biceps comes out, it goes straight and then drops almost 90 degrees to go down the arm. Where it turns that corner, it goes into a groove that, in some people with arthritis, will narrow to the point that the tendon itself will get worn and pinched and eventually rupture. For the most part, biceps ruptures at the shoulder do not need to be treated surgically, and most people will regain full or nearly full function with rarely having long-term pain. Typically, there's a deformity known as a Popeye deformity, almost like the cartoon character Popeye, where there becomes a very prominent muscle belly that's dropped down the arm and just appears in the lower portion of the arm. That's the opposite from a biceps rupture at the elbow, where the muscle belly moves further up towards the shoulder. If you've ruptured your biceps and are having pain and want to be seen, you should see an orthopedic surgeon to have this checked out. You most likely will not need to have surgery for it, but that is always an option depending upon what else is going on. Thank you for listening to this orthopedic moment.